it's just real simple. It's just a little observation. Is there's some excitement that's kind of seeping in, and it kind of talks about it in the lessons. Like, aren't you glad that it's nothing, that the you know that that it's not real. These thoughts of like that are fear based. But along with that is a little resistance. Like fear comes up out of that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm committing to my healing. It, it's
Yeah.
just there, but I just keep doing it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's just a thought, and then it goes. But
Yeah.
I'm just noticing that resistance that comes up when we commit to love.
Yeah. So it's the what you're describing is on one hand the voice of the ego, on one
Uh huh.
hand the voice of the spirit, because we know there's no neutral thought. So you're super clear.
Yeah.
On one hand, I'm rejoicing that my thoughts don't mean anything, and that what I my eyes light upon really have no meaning because of that. So there's a rejoice, like, oh my God, thank God, literally, thank
Yes.
God, I don't have to worry about this. And then the devil, the ego on the shoulder, just comes in and says, "Oh yes, you do. Yeah, how dare you get close to the truth? Um, how dare you play with this special identity that you've made for yourself? You know, because that's the ego's death, and will fight furiously for itself." So, and I think we talked about that early on. We talked about how sometimes you'll the anger will come up, the confusion, the desire to understand, the denial, all these things will come up. And I mean, you'll want to stop, you want to quit, you want to flush the book down the toilet, tear it up, burn it, whatever. I've heard all the stories, and it's just funny how much resistance there can be. But like the Star Trek quote says, resistance is futile. Truth is
Okay.
certain. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so lesson number 23. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. The idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. That's all you need to know. I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts. This idea contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Then it says, nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. But this way cannot fail. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts, then, that we must work if your perception of the world is to be changed. And that's what it's all about. It you know, it's like the opening lines to the AA meetings that we're all familiar with. Hi, I'm Jeff. I have a perceptual problem. That's the kind of the deepest truth that we can really have above all else. Yep, I believe I'm a body. I believe I'm here. I believe I'm justified in my attack thoughts. I believe I strengthen myself by attacking others. I believe I strengthen myself by beating myself up or blaming myself. The ego doesn't care if it's another or self that we project our attack onto. The result is separation. That's the same. All right. So pivotal moment. So let's pivot. Legs up on the wall. Have your bolster at your side. Have your legs up on the wall. Remember how to do that. You sit on the edge, spin up, lie back at the same time. Putting your legs up over a chair or a couch will also work. Your knees will just be bent. Okay, now, I forgot to mention, you may need to just start over. If you feel like you're too far away from the wall, I'd like you to just do it again and get in nice and close to the wall so that you can bend your knees and then slide the bolster underneath your hips. Now this is new. Slide it crosswise underneath the hips so that your belly can relax and your low back is free to drop toward the floor. Have a good look at the shape here. This is nice. Generally speaking, we can be closer to the wall when we support the pelvis like this. It takes the strain and stress out of the back of the legs and unloads the hamstrings, which is lovely. There's all the benefits to having the legs elevated. We help cleanse the joints and the tissues by encouraging the movement of the lymph. See, it's no accident we have lymph nodes all around the joints, in the back of the knee, the hip, the armpit region, because these are the places where we compress and there's lots of movement, and the lymph needs movement in order to move. It doesn't have a pump like the circulatory system has. It relies on movement, and turning it all upside down is really beneficial. We decrease pressure in the belly and the low back. We increase the pressure, the blood pressure to the shoulders, the arms, the neck, the glands in your neck and your skull and the brain. It's all good. Now slowly bring the right knee toward the center of your chest and interlock your fingers over the knee if it's within reach. The back of the knee is fine. That's it. And you slowly feel your way into the shape, increasing the pressure. Never with the idea that you're going to fix something. Certainly not that you're going to fix something in this moment. We find the solution where the problem is, moment by moment, and we rest into it. Yes, the arms are having some effort, but there's no strain. Okay, there's a lot to cover in this lesson, so I'm going to read to you some more. Paragraph 2. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, then you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. Remember, this is a mind training program. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. The world, is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. Gently release your leg back up onto the wall. Bend the left knee, bring it toward the center chest, fingers interlocked over. This is a different hip, different knee, different story. Work accordingly. Let the yoga come to you. difficulty. And these shapes are excellent opportunities to really, above all, watch our thoughts. For example, there could be a knee issue or a hip issue where you had an injury, and it wouldn't be uncommon for the ego mind to come into play and start all kinds of hypothetical thoughts. Like, what if I would have done such and such a little differently? If I would only have, fill in the blank, then this injury wouldn't have happened. The script is written. There's no choice in the world. We have the illusion of choice. The only true choice we have is in how we perceive the world, from a place of fear, defense, and attack, or from a place of love, defenselessness, and joined unity, forgiveness. And the Course promises us Spirit, Jesus, the voice that came through for this book, said, by changing your thoughts, by changing your perception, you're changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. Release your leg. Now, see if you can interlock your fingers under your head. The shape puts more pressure into the upper back and into the neck, and maybe even into the back of the head. If the interlock is challenging, you know what to do. Your arms go out toward a T shape. Now, activate the right leg. Bring the right toes to you. Extend the right knee. Firm this leg. Keep the knee very, very straight. And slowly bring the heel off the wall. That's it. Now, don't go past. So we want to keep the leg in the same plane as the wall or less. Closer to the wall is fine. So don't break the plane that the wall is in. Up through the heel, firm into the knee, and an anchoring quality down through the right hip, down into the bolster. Excellent. Yeah, because of the bolster, the shape in a way is supported, but it gives you lots of opportunity to firm the thigh and find your way into the knee and the ankle, fully activate the muscles. The belly rests down, the low back rests down, and now slowly lower the heel back and rest. Switch the interlock of the fingers. Activate the left leg, extend the left knee, flex the left ankle, open the sole of the foot, include the toes. You can even press the heel into the wall slightly to help extend the knee, not so much that the low back starts to pop up off away from the floor. Keep your leg firm and strong and slowly bring the heel off. Excellent. Up through the heel, out through the knee toward the wall, down through the femur and hip into the bolster. Lower your heel to the wall. Keep the knee straight. Good. And then rest your legs. It says, the world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. This is, of course, this is my words, this is the ego's perception. It says each of your perceptions of external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. And ultimately, our attack thoughts are a defense against our reality as one in heaven. Okay, so it's this moment of truth. It's this moment where we're really asked to be honest with ourselves. And this willingness to see that we see a vengeful world because we really see with our attack thoughts, thoughts of judgment. Now, activate your right leg again and point the toes. And here we may find some cramps in the foot, in the back of the low leg. And all I'm going to ask you to do here is willingly find your way into the cramps. Try not to react to them. You can diminish them, but try not to react. You may increase the flexion of your toes and the firmness of your thigh, extend the knee to find the cramps. We want to find the obstacles. Okay, relax your right foot and leg. And now activate the left. Point the left toes, close the sole of the foot, extend the knee. Just squeeze the bones and squeeze and engage the muscles. Cramp resolution goes a long, long way. It really is a situation of mind over matter. And we can't force it. We have to let it be undone, which is exactly what we're doing with the ego mind. We're not forcing, we're not demanding, we're gently letting it be undone. And as we undo our thoughts of fear and attack, we're automatically moving toward thoughts of love and forgiveness. Okay, relax. Squeeze your legs together, all 10 toes now. Open the soles of the feet, toes to you. Yep, heels up the wall. Firm your thighs. Squeeze your legs together a little bit. And then rest. And bring your hands to your sides. In paragraph 4, it says, you see the world you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. You cannot be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause. And this is what salvation means. For where is the world you see when its cause is gone? This is the escape. You can think of it like an escape hatch. In a lot of movies are themed around this very idea that there's this escape happening where people are escaping to a place where there's more freedom. And usually there's a Holy Spirit character, there's some sort of guiding light that if they follow that and trust that, they're led to the freedom. Now that's a metaphor and form. We're doing this in thought. We're really being asked here to realize that we are the dreamer of the dream. I'm not a character in the dream, but I'm the dreamer of it. Even your nightly dreams, if you practice, and it's the same practice whether it's day or night, but you can set this intention to stay asleep in the nightly nocturnal dream, but be aware that you're dreaming, and the dream changes. They're not so scary. Bend your knees, lift your hips, pull the bolster away. Slowly set yourself down again. Just have a moment here. Okay, and then it says in the same paragraph, vision, okay, or Christ vision, already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them, even though they were made of hate, for you will not be making them alone. So this is the miracle. This is the transition. And now the things that appear in the dream of life become reflections of love and light. They become witness to our own inner transition, miracle mindedness. And that's how things start to work out in our lives. That's how we begin to be guided. Radically different than setting goals, because goals assume that I know what's best for me as a dream character. Bend your knees, push yourself back. If you can. Yeah, inch yourself back. Okay, and then just stretch your legs out, stretch your arms. Good. And then whenever you're ready, roll onto one side, push yourself up, have a comfortable seat. I'm going to read just a little bit more. There's lots of good content in this lesson. And in paragraph 5, it says, the idea for today introduces the thought that you are not trapped in the world you see because its cause can be changed. Up to this point, the lessons have been really quite focused on these factual things that it's asking us to begin to acknowledge. And now comes this turning point where it starts to shed some light on the possibilities. It starts to shed light on the miracles. And it starts to shed light on this transition that is the miracle of moving from a place of ego-minded, wrong-minded attack to this place of loving and light and spirit. And the last point I want to make is in paragraph 7. It says, in these practice periods, so it's asking us to have these practice periods. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about blank. So for a moment here, you might even have your eyes closed and search your mind for attack thoughts that occur. It could be a stimulus from the news, it could be a family member, it could be any person, place, or thing where we harbor these attack thoughts. Hold each attack thought in mind as you say this, and then dismiss the thought and go on to the next. I can escape the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about blank. It says their effects, in number 7, in the practice periods, be sure to include both thoughts of attacking and of being attacked. Their effects are exactly the same because they are exactly the same. As the dreamer of the dream, attacking another or the idea of being attacked are exactly the same, and we're asked to give them both up. Perfect love is whole and complete, has no need for defense. As an outer symbol of our true defenselessness, bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.